Hello crafty friends, welcome to another coloured paper scraps video. So I've been through my scraps bin again. I pulled out some blues and greens, a purple, cool colours, and I've chopped them down into 1-inch squares. If you've got a square punch, you could use that. That way your squares will be perfectly square. Same with square dies. But if you haven't got either of those, you can use a trimmer. So I've got a bit of blue scrap here. It's got a wobbly edge on it. And I'm going to square it up in my trimmer and I'm going to chop it at 4 inches. Make sure it's nice and square, pushed up against the edge here. Chop off that raggedy edge, and then I'm going to cut it into 1-inch wide strips. So it starts at 4 inches. I'm going to slide it along to 3 inches and chop, then 2 inches and chop, then 1 inch and chop. And then I can put it in this way and start it at 5 inches, chop, 4 inches, 3 inches, 2 inches and 1 inch. And I can do that to all my strips until I've got some 1-inch squares. I want to make a patchwork with these so that I can cut it down and decorate them. So I'm going to add some double-sided sticky to a piece of copy paper. I'm using this instead of cardstock because I don't want my final piece to be too thick. If you haven't got double-sided sticky, just use glue or double-sided tape. And I'm simply going to alternate the colours as I go. Because I cut these with my trimmer, they may not be perfectly square, but they'll do the job. So I'll get these all stuck down and I'll come back to you. So I've covered that mostly. I got to about here and decided it was getting a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So I flipped round and started from the other direction just to keep things as straight as possible. I do have some leftover squares and I'm going to put those in my leftover die cuts box with these postage stamps for use at a later date. Now I'm going to chop off the excess paper. And I'm going to chop this one in half. So I've got a 4x6 piece, two 4x6 pieces. And I'll do the same with this, but this is only 4x5. And I'll try and neaten those up and get them square. So what I'm going to do now with these is emboss them with embossing folders. I think we'll add this one to this one. We've got some stars. This one's got some bubble wrap type pattern, swirly whirly, and some leaves and things. So they're all done. I've got some lovely patternage on those. These particular coloured cardstocks have a white core, so sometimes that can peek through any cracks that form, but that's a nice look. So these two are 3D emboss patterns. We'll set those aside for a moment. These are not, these are just regular embossing folder patterns. For this one, I want to brayer on some white acrylic paint. And this will mostly go, hopefully, all goes according to plan, it will go on the raised areas, lightening them and leaving the background dark. I've got a little bit of accidental blobbage there, but that's pretty much what I was hoping for. So we've still got the colours in the background and the square pattern, but it's kind of been pushed backwards by the white foreground, which I rather like. So on this one, I'm thinking something a bit darker. I'm going to add chipped sapphire distress oxide onto my gel plate and roll it out with my brayer. Get a good coating on my brayer and run it over and just gradually build up some darkness. So I'm liking that. I don't want to waste this, please excuse the aeroplane, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water with my mister and then press some cardstock down into it to lift a print, and that can go in my box of backgrounds and bits. For this one with the stars, the 3D stars, I'm going to spatter on some silver watercolour. There's some little gaps showing between the squares, but this will kind of disguise those. I'm just going to give that a really good splatter. So we've got stars and splatters, so it's a very starry, silvery pattern. I'm going to get the gel plate out again and add some pine needles, Distress Oxide, and then roll over that, spread it out. I do have a whole series called Gel Printing 101, I think it is. So if you want more information about gel plates and what to do with them, then check that out. And now I'm going to press this one down into the green. So we're going to get ink on the background and ink on the raised area. Just see what it looks like. Who knows? So we're getting a little halo effect around the raised foliage, which I rather like. I think I'll add a bit more. Oh, hang on, before we do that, I'm going to take that print, just get a scrap of paper. There we go. I think I'll do this a couple more times and see what it looks like as the green intensifies. Got a few little fluffy bits. Yep, I like that. We're still getting some of the colour from the background squares. The foliage is standing out nicely, especially on the lighter squares. I think it might need a bit of spattering again, just to distract from some of the little gaps that are showing. I think we'll spatter both of these. And although it probably won't show up very much, it might catch the light if it's tilted in the right direction. We'll add some shimmery, shiny spatters to this one too. Just as a final finishing touch, I'm going to take chipped sapphire and go around the edge of the star one, just to ever so slightly darken up the edge, give it a bit of definition. Barely noticeable, but I think it just catches the edge nicely. And I'll do the same on this one. This one was the pine needles one, so I'm going to add a bit around the edge. So I'm thinking these larger two are going to go on 5x7 cards, and these smaller two are going to go on 4x6. So I could chop it down there. I think I'll do that with this one. And I need to add a little bit down that cut edge. So that fits on there rather nicely. I'm thinking the same with this one. I've got two strips now that could be used on other cards. So I'm going to mount these straight onto the card blanks, I think. I don't think they need a border. And then we'll think about embellishing and sentiments. I've been through my sentiment boxes and found a few die cut sentiments from scrapbooking collections. This one says, "Have a wonderful day." I've put foam tape on the back to give it some lift. And I'm going to add that there. Very simple. I think it stands out nicely. This one is a sticker and it says, "I hope your day sparkles." I'm going to put it on some white cardstock and cut around the outside. It's a nice green, which I think goes well with the squares, but it doesn't stand out enough. And a white border will just help it to stand out a bit. I'll run around the edge of the white with my beveling tool here, just to roll the edge over and make it look a little less scissor cut and more die cut. And that can get some glue and go straight on the card. I think that stands out well now. This is a cardstock sentiment, gold foiled, that says "Celebrate." I think it's going to need a border. I'm going to give it a black one because I think that will help it stand out. I haven't gone around the edge with my beveling tool because it's quite thin, this black card, and it actually doesn't make any difference to it. I've put some foam on the back. I have added some wet glue just to help me wiggle it into place. I I think we'll place it a third of the way down the card. It'll sort of cover up that splodge of excess white paint. This is a sticker that says hello friend. I don't want it quite as long, so I'm going to chop it down. And that can go down there, straddling the gap between the bottom two rows. I'm thinking that that one doesn't need anything else. And I think this one probably doesn't either. Having said that, I'm going to add some black Nouveau drops, just a few, in a diagonal either side of the sentiment. So I've added a total of 5 drops below and 5 drops above. I'm thinking it would benefit from a bit of a black border. Now I could have stuck it on black card before I stuck it down, but I didn't. So I'm going to go around the edge with a black pen and give it a doodly black border. So I'll do a couple of lines to make any wobbliness look intentional. If you don't like a wobbly line, you can always use a ruler. And I think that finishes that one off nicely. Maybe a squiggle there and a squiggle there. I think because of the nice light gold sparkly pale green sentiment, it doesn't need a black border of any kind on this one, but I have added 3 pale gold Nouveau drops here and here just to kind of frame the sentiment and add a little bit of something extra. Because this one has gold on it, I'm going to use gold to add some accents, and I'm going to add a flotilla of gold butterflies fluttering from one corner to another. I've die cut them with my small butterfly dies out of a matte pale gold cardstock. It's not that different to this. To stick them down, I'm using matte medium, because any bits that ooze out from underneath the butterflies will dry matte and not glossy. I can mop up any excess glue just by dabbing with a clean bit of microfiber cloth. That will push the butterflies down nicely as well. Right, I think that'll do. And in a similar vein, I'm going to add silver butterflies to this one. There's no gold on it, so I thought I'd go for silver as it goes with the silver splatters. According to my daughter, these colours are Minecraft zombie colours. So if you know anyone who likes Minecraft, then these colours might be good on a card for them. And I think that works. And there you have 4 cards made with those colourful squares. I have added a border to this one with a black pen again because I've got that black outline around the sentiment. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you some ideas, and I hope to see you back here very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.